Hopefully now I can flip it. Okay. They almost look orange with the colour of the thing. I'm going to keep this on for the moment because it is, although that sun's beautifully warm, it's bitterly cold out here. Hopefully you can hear me. I was going to do this all together, but I thought it would be nice to be, I needed to be, in all honesty, outside while I was doing this so that I could tune and feel the sun on my face in order to get the sounding expressions right for you guys to tune. So I needed to kind of use it like the sun like a tuning fork. But happy Chinese New Year. We are moving into the water rabbit. Today, this weekend when I'm recording this and this day, yesterday was a super new moon in Aquarius, the closest the moon has been to the earth, though we couldn't see it because it was a new moon in, I think it was 1300 years, so really close. There's, as of today and into February, there's an event of a comet happening that hasn't been around for 50,000 years. So the Neanderthals were around. It was the time of the rise of Atlantis and Lemurian time. So it was what helped or marked the beginning of a cooling period in our history. So, but also a golden age. So energy access to this is a beautiful energy. So we're going to work with energy today. I'm going to do some movement with Qigong, and I thought we would do some, I'll do it at the beginning actually, whilst you're sitting, in case there's anyone that can't do the physical aspect of this, you can definitely do the sound aspects. Go somewhere when you're doing this where you feel comfortable expressing sound. You're not going to worry about people being around you. So if you mess it up and it's not quite right, it's fine. It's the flow of the energy. We're going to work with the heart brain coherence. So we're going to be using sounds from Qigong that facilitate that connection with the brain and the heart in their coherence, as well as the mental connection and the physical connection of the heart. So don't worry about getting it wrong. There is no wrong. It's if you're actually expressing and moving and getting yourself in a state of focused breath, which is why I said about breath and work and movement for this little mini healing that I wanted to do for the new year to kickstart this energy of new beginnings. We've been working with talking about how you can use your vision board. So I went over some stuff because I knew you all had I have probably done my vision board workshop already, and I wanted to kind of touch on all of that so then when we come to that we could just do the practicalities, and I'm trying to fit an 8-hour course that I work through into an hour and a half. I realized when I worked with my members before it just didn't work, so I thought it's better to break it down into sections and then people can pick and cherry pick the aspects they want to work with personally, or they can do it the way that they've always done it. But I've kind of given you some ideas of how you can mix that up a little bit. So that was one. Two, I really want to emphasize how you can utilize this energy, myself included, and a lot of people I know have found the Christmas period, we were, even if we didn't want to, spiritual flu was coming up for us. A purging and a need to rest was instigated. Even if we were fighting against it, we had to go with the flow. We had to move with the energy and allow ourselves to ground, anchor, and embody what is happening for us. And let's try my coat off for a little bit. Oh, it's a big difference. See, just whilst we're doing this, it's coming up there. So, leave this on for a little bit. It might need to come off, as it is actually. So, let's get into a nice rigid pose. You're still going to need that, or you can sit down for the sounds. So you might have to put that back on in a second. Come to the hands on the heart. Bend the knees slightly. Take a deep breath in. bring to mind any relationship or situation you've been finding as a challenge, so, or that you want to put behind you, like you maybe thinking of for 2022, how you want to shift. Maybe bring to mind what it is you want to focus on. If there's something that you're wanting to start fresh and new, allow these thoughts to come to play. Don't focus too much on them, just let them be there, sort of on the surface, and we're going to sort of either hone in or shatter and release and let go, depending on what you need at this moment. But basically get into coherence with your body, mind and spirit and ethereal energy, grounded in the very physical. Hands on the heart, nice bent knees. Let's just start with a little bit of movement actually. It's just out. Ensure now. Start to move. Left eye and sway. And then we're going to come to the centre. We're going to do some teacup movements. So hands come up. Just focus on keeping your palms upright, bringing the round down. Hands up, and this is the bit where you twist. Now, if you have any issues with this, just stick to it being the hands and leave the back. We're going to just move a little bit around and just feel the movement of your body and try and just focus on keeping your palms facing upright. So don't worry about getting it right so much, just the movement itself. If you're used to the teacups, you feel you forward bend and bend the knees back and round. You can put something in your hand if it helps, so you're keeping, that's the idea of the word teacups, upright. You're flexing the arms, the elbows, the shoulders. You've got a lot of movement going. This is quite a dynamic movement. And then come to stop and shake. Just wanted to get a bit of heat. And put the hands under here because it's cold. Basically, I want you to have your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath in and Qigong. As you breathe in, you take a deep breath, filling the lungs. As you breathe out with the sound sh and on at the end. Qi, 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 qi. Like an E sound with it. But see how it expresses. I'm going to start expressing and you can just listen. But I figured if I go through the sounds first, if you want to have a go, then you please do. Qi, on, qi, on. But for longer, okay? Qi, on. Qi-yong, Qi-yong, Qi-yong. How did that feel? Did you have a go? If you didn't, don't worry. You can build up to it. You can always play this over. Let me know in the comments below how it felt. Let go of feeling silly. The E and the ong are creating brainwave sounds. You, if you learn how to do them, don't need music to create them. They're something you can do anywhere. Your body's technology will keep that resonance of the brain and the heart and what's going on with it, expressing those sounds. Now, the next one, shing, but this time the tongue with the ing goes down, and then we're going to do another one after that sounds almost identical, but the difference is with the third one we'll do is the tongue goes up behind the teeth. So tongue down with this shing and ing, shing down. Shing, shine, 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 shine. Sound familiar to any instrument you know? Shine, shine. Now with our third sound. Shine. This time tongue behind the teeth and up. Shine, 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 shine. Okay, well you can practice the three sounds like that, which is how you would do it with Qigong. But this is how my guides told me to play with this. So you can allow my sound to wash over you, or you can play in your own way of expressing those deep. So we were working with linking the mental, the physical, with the heart chambers and the spiritual. Shine, 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 shine. Shine, 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 shine. Lower, she's telling me. Shine, 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 shine. Better. Esta, yo no subía. Aquí la subía, ahí ya tú. Shine, on, Shia, yes. Oigan, Nike. Go for the organs. Yes, I am. Bring your hands down into mountain, and the Om sound is a combination of all of the tonal sounds put together. That's where we get the sound Om, that we Om. When you say them individually, slowly, and you push them all together, they make an Om sound. So when they're said quickly, it's like making a sentence out of lots of letters and words. That's what Om is. It's a abbreviation, but we're going to do that to ground in. Lower down hands. It's all right. Push the tongue together, it kind of goes in, and when you lose your breath, it will kind of disappears. Big pull. Let it vibrate all through your chest and the lungs. Get to here, and it changes. It's low for me. Well, okay. I was like, are we done? I'm going, are we done? This is weird. He's going, nope. You need to clear it all out and shift it all out. It'll help them and you, is what the words that my higher self just said. Yeah. Oh. I'm like, really? I don't go that high, but we'll see. I see that. I need the sun for that. It's hilarious. You can still see the top. tight. I don't know if the sound on there will have picked that up. I hope it did. Felt good. Can't do that on my own, that's for sure. She went. Sorry, I'm just sharing through here, but it's you, like it is you. I am you. You are me, kind of. Like, so you do you do it. Yeah, okay. So the weirdness, enough weirdness for them. So let's move back into more traditional movement. Yes, shake and then shake. How do you feel? What I want to know is, let me know when you've listened through, when you've listened with that sound, if you've expressed any of those sounds, if any of those sounds came out for you, how they felt, if you feel a resetting, because I can feel the retuning and rebalancing of all of the areas. It's like we pitched low, we pitched high, we pitched in the middle, but we linked it from the heart, which is why we started in the kind of low physical sounds and then went higher. So we're working with the physical aspect of the body and the aches and pains. So let's do two. Go back to the teacups. So forward, round and under, hands still facing up, bend, and then the wrists come forward. And obviously at this bit they are almost like that, but you try and remember to keep them up. And as you go back, they come forward. And you kind of feel the movement. You can close your eyes, it's easier, I think, because you just feel into the hands being up and back. And in a minute, we're going to do this one hand at a time, which I find actually harder to do. And so one hand goes behind, and you do that. So you're rotating your hips, you're rotating your shoulders, you're rotating your elbows, you're activating lots of acupressure points and meridian points, too many to mention. We're rotating, we're working with the trauma and release of emotion and letting go, but we're balancing. This is the right hand I'm using, so the right side connected to the left. Swap the hands over, hand goes behind the back that you were just using, and then you do the same thing. So she says, round. Don't worry if you can't get these movements now. I'm more advanced, but with today's energy, I wanted more kinetic. And one of the masters said about this being a good one to use for the weekend. So just shake in. So I'm going to put my coat back on, so please get yourself in a nice meaty pose now and stance. So rub on my extremities. Start to shake. Shake from the bottom, shake from the top. Lift the hands up. Shake out the lymphatic system. Stand. Tilt the head. Stretch out the side of the neck. And the other side. Water. In, push, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Bring the knees the opposite way your hands go. Bend the knees, just like we've been doing in class in our sessions. This practice takes practice. It literally will take time to get this. It's actually quite hard. You are meant to do it for longer periods, and it's a full body workout. This movement is very good for losing weight, and rotating and twisting and moving limbs that you may not have moved before. Now, even if you're doing a little bit, problems in your back or hips and issues in shoulders and you can only move, you're still doing something. And bring your hands, thumbs, forefingers together in a triangle and move just from here, from the waist, and start there and build on this movement. Over time, you'll find in law of increments, you'll slowly be able to do more. Start where you are, and only one you're in competition with is you. Now I'm going to leave it at there because it's rather cold out here. I will come back to doing more of the meditation side of today's session, and then break it down and finally do the reading for the year ahead for the next 12 months. I'll do them in separate videos, so those of you that only want to be there for the reading can be there for the reading, or just for this, or for it's no point me telling you that. I'll put that in text afterwards. But so that's the end of our session today. What I would suggest, if you haven't already, I know a lot of my members definitely have been out, feel the sun. Feel the difference in today. Feel into your energy and the energy that's going on around you. So how are you interpreting what your body is doing? Its bilateral flow patterns. Have they naturally come out and you've kind of gone within through those months and now we've shifted the energies you're shifting to? Or are you still feeling it a little bit? Do you need a little bit more? And if you do, get outside, get out in nature. I know it's cold and you don't feel that way. That's why I'm saying go out when it's midday if you can, in your lunch break at work, especially if it's not raining, and feel the sun on your face. Vitamin D shot, if you like, but also there's lots of information coming through with this light. It's very different light to what we normally have flooding out there. If you can at night time, try and get a glimpse over the next week or so at the comet. This comet, Matthias said, is not coming around again, but it certainly won't be around in the next however many lifetimes, if it was 50,000 years ago that it was last came this way. And its trajectory apparently is changing. I think that's what he meant, but it's certainly been a while. So it's on a scientific point of view, it will be worth viewing if you can get anywhere there's light pollution. In the Northern Hemisphere, his suggestions, I think I put it on my stories, I copied his story, looked at Arcturus and Polaris, which Polaris is our current North Star. So if you're Northern Hemisphere, Arcturus, very close to my heart, that direction. There's loads of apps you can download that tell you literally when you hold the phone up where you are, to work out where they are. You don't need to be a cosmologist or astrologer to know exactly. And I think, I can't remember what it said. I only remembered because obviously being in the Northern Hemisphere, where it is in the Southern, I'll have to make a note. Energy of Aquarius is air. Air and sound have lots in common, hence why I worked more with sound today than movement, and the movement of the frequency and vibration. So our frequency and our vibration and how dense that is and how light that feels will have a direct result in how we move through this energy. And give yourself lots of rest if you need it. If your body's needing to embody, then allow it to, and don't make excuses. Be honest with yourself. If you're unable to do that, and I know that in this modern world that we're not always able to do that, then do stuff that kind of invigorates you, that you love, that brings you joy, that will help raise your frequency, which in turn will help your the density of how you're feeling, and how when they hit what you how your body reacts. So whether you get a cold, whether your immune system is detoxing, how much it needs to purge, like, well, eat better. Like, it's all little common sense things that I've spoken about loads of times, and I'm sure you all know. So I'm not going to wrap it on too long. I'm trying to bullet point things a lot better, and put things into smaller packages, because I feel, especially this year, time-wise, we're not going to have as much. So I'm going to leave you there and break it down. So this 1.5-hour workshop will be 3 little workshops put together for the retreat. I do the meditation separate for you to just meditate. This obviously is a kind of meditation, a moving meditation, but it's actually a frequency healing. They're telling me they're working on the physical level with the sound, and you, if you're doing it and expressing it, will feel different. So let me know if you do. If you don't, if you couldn't hear me, if it sounds awful, if you think I'm crazy, then sorry. I'm afraid I can't help you with that one. So my love and blessings, and happy new year. The rabbit just reminds me of spring. It's obviously the water rabbit. Let me just show you before I go. I've had the stream by me. Lovely, beautiful sun. You see? Great big thing. It kept flying over. But yeah, oh, you can't see. It was shining all over the water as I was doing stuff. And actually, you know, when we do our water for winter, when we are doing our be like the water plants, those are the plants I'm referring to when they're moving out and around. So have a blessed day whenever you are viewing this, whether it's the new year or 6 months from now. My love and my blessings in your now moment.